A lot of people think mastering is all about making the song louder, but it's much more than that. In this tutorial, I will show you what mastering really means and how to master a song in FL Studio or in any software you currently use. But before we see how to master a song, we must first understand what mastering really means, okay? Now, according to Isotope, all right, mastering a song involves taking a mix and putting the final touches on it by elevating certain sonic characteristics, okay? Now, this involves setting aspects like adjusting the levels, applying stereo enhancement, and monitoring for clicks, pops, and I will add distortion and clipping, okay? Or anything that could distract the listener from the music. Now, the end result is a polished, clean sound that is optimized for consistent playback across different formats and systems, okay? So, typically, the way you master a song for streaming platforms, the requirements may be a little bit different from when you're mastering a song for vinyl or for cassettes or for other forms of media consumption. It may even be movies, okay? So it's all different. So you need to first of all understand what the requirements are for where the song is going to be on, okay? So now that we know what mastering is, let's get into it. The very first step while mastering is to have your song well mixed, loaded in your software. Yes, your song needs to be well mixed, well balanced, okay? Make sure there's no noise, okay? The vocals are well compressed, well EQ'd, the drums are all leveled and well balanced, all right? Because this will make the mastering process a lot easier. Now, we don't necessarily need to set the tempo, okay? We don't necessarily need to set the tempo as we won't be using any time-based effects like reverb or delay while mastering. All right, so now I know you want your song to be loud, and if you want it to be loud without getting distorted or without clipping, we'll cut out some low end just a little bit so that we can have more headroom. Okay, you kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of low end for more loudness or more headroom. Okay, even though your mix does come with some significant headroom, okay, it's still important you take out a little bit of low end, okay, so you have more headroom. So our song is linked to the mixer, okay, also on the insert, okay. I already have the plugin loaded on here, okay. This is the GEQ by SSL, okay. It's actually sold by Waves, okay. You can get this from Waves website. It's a great EQ. Now we're going to take out a little bit of low end, and if we observe some harshness in the song, we'll take out a little bit of the high end, or if it sounds a little bit dull, we can boost a little bit in the high end as well, okay. So I'm going to listen and make relevant adjustments.
On me, well, I see with the way you rolling your body on me, girl, I know you want me.
So to cut, we simply identify the frequency, okay. Now we don't want to go too much, okay, because this song has a lot of bass heavy elements. So let's say about 40 hertz is fine for now. Then we'll cut out about, let's say, 2 dB, roughly 2 dB, and then we hear how it sounds now.
On me, well, I see with the way you rolling your body on me, girl, I know you want me.
Alright, so we're done taking out a little bit of the low end, okay. So now let's listen for the high frequencies and see what we can do about it.
On me, well, I see with the way you.
Okay, I think it can be a little bit brighter in the high frequency, okay. So I'm going to just, first of all, let's go a little bit 10k, okay, that's about 10 kilohertz, and increase the frequency there a little bit, okay, nothing excessive, just a little bit.
On me, well, I see with the way you rolling your body on me, girl, I know you want me.
So I like the way it opens up that high frequency right there, okay. So we can listen to the before and the after if I turn it off.
On me, well, I see with the way you rolling your body on me.
When I turn it on
Me, well, I see with the way you rolling.
So now we're going to go on to the next step, which is using a stereo enhancer, okay. Now we want our mastered songs to be big and wide, and to do this we'll be using a stereo enhancer, all right. So to do this, I prefer using the Isotope Imager plugin, okay. Now this plugin, I really like it because it's smart. You can click the learn site, analyze this, the frequency bands, and gives you more information on how to easily get a wider mix or a wider master. Okay, now you can use any stereo enhancer, but I just prefer using this. Now I have to be careful as well using stereo enhancers. Making it too wide can make it lose some bass and make the mix sound unbalanced. Okay, we only want just a little enhancement. So first I'll create the bands, then I can click learn, and then we'll play.
On me. Well, I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski, abare.
So let's go to where there's more bass elements and do that again.
No, no, yawa, wait till you find my banana. You get five. No, yawa, you get cash. No, yawa, first face. No, yawa, wait till you find.
All right, that's fine. So now we can make adjustments. Okay, now most times you want to open up the high, mid, and the high frequency a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to just boost this a little bit, boost this a little bit.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski, abare. Ebeleski, abare. Esukusi, abare.
Now, if you observe, I reduced this on the bass because I wanted the bass to sound more narrow, okay, and not to spread out, also to compensate for headroom, okay.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski.
And when I turn it off, this is the before.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me.
And this is the after.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me.
You can see you can hear more in detail, especially on the vocals. You can hear the delay even more clearer now. Okay, so the stereo enhancer just simply opens up the mix a little bit more. Okay, but make sure your mix is already well balanced so that you can simply just enhance it. Okay, like it says enhancer. Okay, it enhances the stereo image. All right, and if you observe, we only tweaked it just by a little bit, not by much, just by a little bit. Okay, so now if you want your mastered song to have some punch and sound heavy with all the elements sounding like they really belong together, we'll be using an analog compressor like the SSL G Boss right here. Okay, that is solid state logic G Boss compressor. Okay, now this compressor will help control the dynamics of the song a little bit. Okay, you can use any other compressor, okay, any other analog compressor, especially if it's a FET compressor, okay, or an opto compressor. Okay, this will help add more punch and clarity and glue to your mix, okay, while mastering. So I'm going to adjust this now. With this, we're going to adjust the threshold a little because we don't really want much compression, so we're going to relax the threshold of this compressor so that it works less on the song. Okay,
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski, abare. Ebeleski, abare.
of course, I'll turn on the analog feature so that it really gets more of the analog tone.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski, abare. Ebeleski, abare. Esukusi.
When I turn it off,
I see with the way you rolling your body on me.
when I turn it on,
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski, abare. Ebeleski, abare. Esukusi, abare. Esukusi, abare. Ebeleski. I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ebeleski.
all right, so now we're in the fifth step, and I really need you to pay close attention here because it's time to use a limiter. Okay, now we're going to be limiting our song size stays within -10 to -8 LUFS. Okay, since this song will be distributed to streaming platforms, and I know there are lots of confusion about how loud a song should be. Okay, some say -12, some say -15 LUFS, some even look on streaming sites to know how loud their songs should be. The problem with this is that each sites have different requirements for how loud the song should be. Okay, but that doesn't mean that is the level your song has to be at when you're exporting, when mastering. Okay, for most songs, I would say, especially when you're mixing for popular genres, okay, like trap music, Afro beats, R&B, and the likes. Okay, I would say for most songs, I recommend you stay within -10 to -8 LUFS. Okay, because if you observe, a lot of songs are really loud on those streaming platforms, and if you master yours to -12 or -15 LUFS, it's simply not going to compete or stand out. Okay, so you need to get as much loudness as possible from your song without having distortion. Okay, so long as it's not clipping, you'll be fine. So now I'm going to click this right here. Okay, just bring this all the way down here, and then we'll make adjustments.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ekbeleski abare, ekbeleski abare. Esukusi abare, esukusi abare. Ekbeleski abare.
Now, how do we know it's at -8 LUFS? Now, Isotope does have an LUFS meter right here that you can use to measure, okay? But I prefer to use the free version of Yulin loudness meter, okay? It's going to tell us the integrated loudness.
I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ekbeleski abare.
So I advise when you're measuring loudness, play the areas that has the most elements, that has a lot of bass and everything, so you can have a good idea of how loud it really is.
No yawa, you get vibes. No yawa, you get cash. No yawa, fresh face. No yawa, wait till you find my banana. You get vibes. No yawa, you get cash. No yawa, fresh face.
Okay, I think we still have some room to drive it down a bit. Okay, let's drive it down some more.
You get vibes. No yawa, you get cash. No yawa, fresh face. No yawa, wait till you find my banana. You get vibes. No yawa, you get cash. No yawa, fresh face. No yawa, wait till you find my banana. Banana, you dey buy banana. I go give banana. Me I get banana, banana. You dey buy banana. I just get banana. I go give. Baby girl one day Maya with me. She wanna rap with me. She wanna follow me, tinini tanana, wanna turn out with me. Ofeta be a road with me. She wanna come by and rap with me. She wanna come by and rap with me. She wanna come by and rap with me. Yeah, I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Hola, hey, I see with the way you rolling your body on me. Girl, I know you want me. Ekbeleski.
So have you uploaded a song before, you felt you mixed it properly, you mastered it properly, but still when you upload it to streaming sites, it sounds terrible? It sounds like there's a significant drop in the quality. Now let me show you how to fix it. Okay, it's all in the file type. After done mastering, I see some people still do this. They export in MP3. Please avoid exporting your masters in MP3. Export in WAV files. So I'm going to come right here, file. Regardless of the software used, please export in WAV or in FLAC in a lossless format. Okay. All right. So we're going to come right here. It's in WAV format or in FLAC. Either one is fine. Okay. And then you can have between 16 or 24 bit float. So let's use 24 bits. Okay, most streaming sites do support 32 bits, but let's have it at 24 bits. Okay, make sure it's in stereo. All right, so right here now we have the master file. Okay, I remain so classy, and if you found this helpful, please hit the like button so other people can find this video and improve their mastering as well. And also hit the subscribe button to keep up with more tutorials. Cheers.